Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. So today, guys, we will be doing hot topics. There is so much going on. Oh my gosh. There is so much going on in reality TV land, ROA land, with current ROA cast members, past ROA cast members, the works. Okay. There's just so much going on. So I have a lot to talk about. I'm just trying to decide what I want to talk about first. What I think I want to talk about first is the Funky Dineva outing Tamar Braxton for having an affair with Mandices. Okay, so I am going to share my screen so that we can go ahead and get into Funky's live so that we can talk about it, so that we can share opinions, so that you guys can let me know like whose side you're on in this situation. I kind of have mixed opinions about the whole thing. Hey, Sharon Gobalt, thank you so much for being here, sis. Like, it's a lot. So let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can get into Funky's live. Okay. And guys, as you know, when you share other people's content, you have to stop it periodically just to give your commentary. So I will be doing that according to the YouTube guidelines. So bear with me. One second while I pull that up. Oh gosh, that's not the right thing I need to have pulled up. Give me one second. Thought I already had it pulled up, but let's go here so that I can get that. And at first, I was like, why is Funky doing this now? But after I listened to the live, I kind of get why he decided to do this at this time. What in the world is going on here? Give me one second, guys. Okay. So bear with me, guys. Okay, so before I get started, let me go ahead and move this banner so you guys can actually see. Okay,
I'm still up in the air about how I'm gonna respond to Tamar. Okay, but Tamar recently did an interview with.
Before we get started, let me just say this: you are not up in the air about how you're going to respond, Funky Dineva, because you are responding right here now, just the way you want to respond.
L'Oreal, and I don't know. She just did something I didn't like. Take a look.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about
I can talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
So right there lets you know why Funky Dineva decided to do this, because he already said that, she did not, have him a birthday party. And if you watch the videos, everything about that scene at the club on the night of Funky's birthday, the balloons, everything said Tamar. So that was not about Funky. That was totally about Tamar. So Funky is tired of Tamar lying about the fact that she had him a birthday party. Okay.
Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I came home like I would normally do. Well, you kind of know the spiel. I come home, I'll take a shower, I'll wash my face, I'll come back in the kitchen. We'll have, have more.
Okay, so the rest of the interview is irrelevant. Tamar, I'm gonna speak to you directly. I never wanted what transpired between me and you to transpire. I didn't. In this moment, it's still not something that I'm very proud of. And I honestly wish that I could go back a couple months and we could be in the place that we were before this happened. But what I can't tolerate is the sly shade, the sly messiness, and this thing that you do. You do just enough. You do just enough that when somebody calls you on it, then you can dip your hands back and be like, I didn't do nothing. What? I didn't do nothing. I didn't say the person's name. Okay, you started out with.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about
I can talk about it, but
party.
I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Okay. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because I'm telling you to your damn face, you was a bold-faced, bald-headed, goddamn liar. Okay? That night was never about me. You and Zoe and all the rest of them, y'all was looking for something to eat. Y'all called me and was asking me what was there to eat up in my direction. I said everything up my way closed. I was like, we could always go to Roof Chris. Y'all said, fuck it, meet me at Roof Chris. I met y'all at Roof Chris, you and Zoe. In comes walking Mendices and his homeboy, okay? Now, this is the third time that me and you have been hanging out, and out of nowhere, here comes Mendices, okay? Now, you can make of that whatever the hell you want to make of it, okay?
So, Tamar, we see the game you're playing. You only invited him so that it wouldn't look odd that you were hanging out with Mendices alone. So he was just like, an extra wheel so that it wouldn't look odd that you've been hanging out with Mendices.
Tired. I wanted to go home. Y'all said we going over here to Sauce in Buckhead. Meet us at Sauce. I said, y'all, I really don't want to go. I drive my car over to Sauce. By the time I get to Sauce, Zoe calls and says, Tamar said, just leave your car at her house and we're going to go to V12. I didn't even want to go. You didn't throw me no party, love. Why are you doing this? Why is it so important for you to create this narrative like you were doing something for a friend and a friend did you so wrong. Okay. So now you and Mendices sneaking and dealing around. Mendices was behind us at the V12. Okay. He just didn't want to walk in, or they had arranged it because he didn't want to be caught up all in the mix. If you were throwing Quentin a party, Tamar, the sign would have said Quentin. The sign would have said Funky Dineva on it. Okay. Now, in fairness, it was my birthday week. And maybe in your mind, you were saying, let's go out and continue to hang for your birthday. Or it's your birthday, let's hang. But to create this narrative that you went to throw a birthday party for a friend and this friend did you so wrong, that's not right, Tamar, and it's not fair to me, and my feelings are hurt behind it. My feelings are really hurt behind you trying to create this narrative. And here is what the situation is, my love. For whatever reason, you being Tamar Braxton that you are, you like running to the internet and stirring up mess and confusion and drama. It's what you like. There is no real world where anybody busts out the front of their damn mouth and then start talking about they woke up in a pool of blood and they almost died. I did not play it in this interview, but at the time in which you went to the internet, you said you woke up in a pool of blood and almost died. In this interview with L'Oreal, you mentioned that you were home with David or somebody, and they said, we need to call an ambulance. And you were like, no, we're not calling no ambulance, which suggests to me that you did not almost die. Okay. But now, since you want to be like this, let's be like this. Part of the problem with this whole thing was, Tamar.
Before he spills the beans, I just want to say this. Okay. Tamar, you really need to stop with the clout chasing. Okay. If you did this and caused him to get all of this backlash just because you wanted to be viral on social media, you wanted to be trending on social media because you were dropping music, whatever you had going on, Tamar, it's too much. Okay. If you really did what he's saying that you did, you are not a nice person. Okay. As much as I love you, Tamar, love your music, this is a lie. And you really, I've been giving you a lot of credit because I can see your growth, but this right here sets you back a lot. Okay. You really need to work on this, Tamar. And I'm glad right now you're being kind of quiet until this interview popped up. I wish you would have never done this interview because everybody has been out here just really going for you, Tamar, like really, taking up for you, feeling bad for you because of what you go through, with your toxic family members. But this right here, Tamar, makes it look like you're just like your toxic family members, which I never really denied that you can be a problem. But this is bad. This is a really bad look for you, Tamar.
Is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and Mendices had in front of me. Okay. All of that, you at the music video shoot in your booty shorts, sitting on top of him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up. I was very uncomfortable with it. And if we're going to tell it, let's tell it all. So since you were throwing a party for a friend's birthday party, do y'all want to know why I did not get out the car and go upstairs with Tamar when we got back to her house? Because after her and Mendices got through kissing in the back of that goddamn car, I figured they wanted to be up there privately. That is why when we got dropped off at Tamar's house, I did not go upstairs. I got in my damn car and went home because you was sitting on his lap in that goddamn Uber and y'all ass was kissing. Okay. And the shit made me damn uncomfortable. Okay. Now, if anybody know who happened and what happened to your damn teeth, it's Mendices and his best friend, because they was the ones who went upstairs with you. Now, I don't know whether they was fucking your ass from the back and ran your head through the headboard or what. Okay?
Oh
But if anybody need to be investigated on what happened to you in your damn teeth, it need to be Mendices and his friend, because that's who went upstairs with you.
Okay. So Sharon says, I don't trust Funky Dineva. He says she's lying, but he's a liar also. Now, if she said that she was up, in her house with David, her ex, and he's saying that he's seen her go up to her condo, whatever it is, with Mendices and his friend. First of all, like, why would you be letting two men come up to your house that time of night? And I don't believe David ever came around because, like, it was already so late. So I don't believe that story from Tamar if that's what she said in the interview. I didn't see the interview. I only seen what he posted. So if she lied and said that David was there, because David's name never came up before, and why didn't she mention David's name from the beginning? None of this is making sense. Okay. And not only that, Tamar, if you had another woman's husband up in your home that time of night, that's very low, Tamar. Like, that's just wow. Like, I can't believe that you would do something like that, Tamar. You already got a bad rep. They're out here already trying to paint you like you're desperate for a man. Now you sleeping with married men? Come on, Tamar. This is not a good look.
That's who went upstairs with you. Okay? All the phone calls I got at the V12. Is Tamar drunk? Why is she sitting on Mendice's lap like this? Why is she sitting on Mendice's lap? And see, here's the thing. I hate that I even chose to go this route because it follows the narrative of, oh, he just a messy sissy who couldn't wait to get Mad Day to tell her business, keep the messy punks from round you. Like, it would seem to me, Tamar, if you knew that I was holding on to all of this, that you would just leave me the fuck alone.
And I agree with that because he could have outed Tamar from day one, and he didn't do that. So for her to still continue to not tell the truth, you know what I'm saying, and make it seem like she was doing him a favor when she was doing herself a favor so that she wouldn't, be found out that she's sleeping with a married man. So he caught all of these strays because you wanted to hold around with the married man.
Baby, you didn't throw no party for me. If anything, you threw a pre-party for Mendices. Because he the one who went back upstairs with you. That lady husband. And see, y'all be around here in these blogs and shit thinking y'all be knowing what y'all be talking about. Folks be eating me up, and I just be sitting there. If only y'all knew. If only y'all knew. He's such a bad friend. He's such a bad friend.
He ain't wrong. Tamar made everybody look bad with her lies and her clout chasing. And that is totally ridiculous. Just to keep her secret. And one thing we know about those Braxtons, they really know how to keep a secret.
If she was drunk, why he didn't go upstairs with her? That faggot just want to be around her. He just want to be around her because of XYZ. A real friend would have went upstairs with her. I didn't need to go upstairs with her because that lady husband went upstairs with her.
Not the lady husband.
You absolutely right. A real friend would have went upstairs. Her real friend went upstairs with her.
I need to know, whether you guys think that Tamar, nothing happened to Tamar. It was all just an elaborate lie. Or was Tamar so drunk that she doesn't even remember what happened? She's trying to make it seem like she doesn't remember what happened as if she could have been sleepwalking. I believe she doesn't remember what happened because Tamar was pissy drunk, okay? Tamar could have actually fell and did that to herself, or like what some people think, it never happened at all. You did it all for clout.
Hold on one second. This is my auntie nursing home. Quentin Latham.
Hi, good evening. I'm calling from Villa Maria Nursing Center, and I'm just double checking.
Lord, not him answering a call while he on live. Okay, Funky.
So she could have her IV antibiotic.
Yes, to her for her foot. Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. And the
You
whole
was
issue,
definitely drunk,
Tamar,
Sharon.
about the whole thing was the fact that you don't get to go around and create media shitstorms that involve other people without their permission.
Hello.
That
part.
whole my teeth fell out, and I don't know what happened. Tamar, like, sis. And then you had that Spanish lady make that video down in Miami lying. There is nobody who had the amount of mouth trauma that you had that healed that quickly.
And let's not forget, guys, it was also said that Tamar was actually back at the club a couple of days later, okay, after this situation happened. It is not adding up. It's looking more like nothing happened. And like he said, she wanted to create a media shitstorm.
You know what happened when it's time to be messy. You know what happened when it's time to be mean. You know what happened when it's time to hide the fact that you was messing with Yandy's husband. You know what happened when it's time for y'all to sneak in and out of places at different times to not be caught with people, but you don't know what happened in your own damn house while that man was up there with you. Now you don't know what happened. So with that being said, now I give everybody permission to now paint me as the messy faggot. I'll be that. I will be the messy faggot that everybody should stay away from on Get Mad Day because he gonna tell all your business. I had been told this lady to leave me alone. But you not finna sit your triple face ass up there on L'Oreal's podcast and pretend like, oh, you just had a friend that just did you so wrong. You were just done so wrong. Because if anything, I was the one that was the collateral damage in your bullshit. Them people sat up there and called me every damn thing under the sun, made me a part of every conspiracy under the sun while your ass was sitting back somewhere enjoying all of the media bliss about it because you like it. All you had to simply do was put y'all leave Funky alone, me and Funky cool. You didn't even want to do that. Then when you went and did it, you took it down the next day. Like, and granted, there is a world where people can say, well, Q, you know, I get it. Some people did not know until I addressed it. But for the record, she went out and said she almost died. I had 7,000 people waiting in the doggone thing because they knew we were together the night before and they were just waiting for me to tell what happened. And I said, I don't know what happened to the lady. I said, baby, I went home. That lady went upstairs. I went home. I don't know what happened to that lady. Now, I understand that in the wake of some people not knowing who I am and not knowing how we speak in Miami, coupled with the fact that Tamar got on the internet and pretended like she almost died, I get the outrage. People are like, how is he referring to her so dismissively as that lady or whatever? And what y'all don't know, what you know now is the reason why I was referring to her so dismissively is because I knew deep down in my soul hadn't shit happened to her ass. Had nothing happened.
And Sharon Gabo says he shouldn't have gone if he didn't want to. If I don't want to go nowhere, I don't go. And I agree because he said that so many times. Oh, he didn't want to go here. Oh, he didn't want to go there. As soon as you seen Tamar with Mandices, you should have just left the scene so that you wouldn't be involved in Tamar's mess with her sleeping with Yandy's husband, especially if you don't have any beef with Yandy. Like, you shouldn't have been a part of that. You shouldn't be around somebody messing with somebody's husband. You should have left. This is your karma, Funky, for not leaving the scene and being a part of the mess. That's messy. But what I don't understand, guys, is why this has been going on for so long. And Mandices or Yandy, neither one of them have come forward to say anything. So it kind of makes Yandy look like she might have had something to do with it. Just because she's being so quiet. There's no way my husband's name would be caught up in all of this mess and I don't come forward and say something, even if it's just to say that me and my husband are in an open marriage. If that's what it is, because apparently that's what it is. Because Mandices have cheated on her with so many women. I don't watch their show, Love and Hip Hop, or whatever the case may be. It's just not my thing. But I have heard that he's somewhere now filming something and he's being so disrespectful to his wife. Mandices is just a disrespectful person. Tamar does not know how to pick men. You know, first of all, you always pick the wrong man. Now you picking somebody's husband, Tamar. You are right. You need to not date until your son turns 18 because you do not know how to pick a man. Okay. You always pick the wrong men. So you just need to sit down, Tamar, because obviously you lack self love. You don't even love yourself enough, you know what I'm saying, to bring the right person around your son. And you sneaking around with a married man who ain't got shit. Let's not forget that Mandices has always lived off of Yandy. What the hell do you want with the fucking Mandices? He ain't got shit. He did all that time in jail. Don't nobody want Mandices but Yandy. You are a legend. Your family is a legend. Like, why would you want that nothing ass nigga? And Sharon said, Yandy is not stupid. She knows everything Mandices does. Exactly. I honestly believe they're in an open marriage. It's already came out from Yandy's best friend that she did pretty much the same thing to him. She invited him on a trip just so that she can go and trick off with her dude, with her side dude. So it's looking like an open marriage. And she can't say nothing about what he's doing because she's doing the same damn thing. And that just seems to be the ongoing thing in Atlanta, the open marriages, the threesomes, just, you know. Woo.
To her ass. It would seem to me, before you get on the internet and try to tell people you almost died, that you would have called Olivia Benson from Law and Order to figure out what happened to your ass. We months down the line, you don't started a whole media shitstorm and you still talking about you don't know what happened to your ass? And you didn't think to maybe figure out what happened to your ass before you ran on the internet? I told you a long time ago, I'm not them. I'm not your support staff. I'm not none of them broke sissies that be around you for clout, that need you for money, that need you to pay the tab. I don't need nothing from you and never needed anything from you. I was your friend genuinely. And I'm still hurt by all of this. I'm still hurt by all of this because I don't like how you trying to flip it and make it seem like I did you wrong.
And I never would have thought in a million years that I will actually feel sorry for Funky Dineva because, you know, he's really genuinely hurt. Like you can hear it in his voice. Tamar did him wrong with this.
The only person who was did wrong in this situation is Yandy. And I'm going to leave it at that. Moving right along.
Okay. So there you have it, guys. Tamar, woo, girl, you looking bad out here. Right at the time when I mean, she got so much shit going on. I just seen where she's going to be cooking with Patti LaBelle. Like she done dropped her retro video, movie, whatever you want to call it. Like all her new music just for this to spin the block and come back up. And that's what you get, Tamar. Always wanting to be trending on social media. Uh-oh. Let me stop that. And Sharon says, I don't trust Funky Dineva. He says she's lying, but he's a okay. I'm sorry, guys. I already read that comment. Okay, so let's talk about, let me see who I want to talk about next. Whew. Let's go on ahead and get Porsha out the way. Okay. So, y'all, Porsha got a woman. So Porsha has came out to let everybody know that she is dating Sway. And she recently, on Saturday to be exact, she attended Sway and his twin, because that's when I found out that Sway has a twin sister. And it looks like they rap, okay? They have a rap duo, whatever the case may be. So she attended their birthday party on Saturday, and it looked like a really good time. But what was odd to me is the fact that she went there, she bought a Cartier, some type of nice, expensive jewelry, whatever the case may be. And she didn't post any of those pictures, as far as I've seen, on her social media. Okay. So it's looking like a storyline. Okay. You went there, you did all of that. Everybody's posting pictures of you at the party, you giving your birthday gift, and then you didn't post anything after you posted the initial photo of you and Sway in front of the Christmas tree. Nothing from the party. That was a little weird. So, like I said, it's giving storyline. Okay. And now people are out here saying that, you got with a woman because none of the Atlanta men want you because you get around. And I'm not going to speak on that because, I don't think anybody should really be all up in people's bedrooms or whatever the case may be. But Portia, it's looking like you would do anything for a chick, and you didn't have a storyline, the last season, the entire season, and you cannot come back and still don't have a storyline. So it's looking like this was your last, you know, effort to have a storyline is to get with Sway and announce that you're now dating a woman. And Sharon also agrees that it's all for a storyline. Because went back because I just knew that Portia was gonna have all these pictures of her at the birthday party, cute pictures. Yeah, she took a lot of pictures in her little cute outfit, but she didn't take any pictures with Sway and post them on her social media. So that's odd to me. You wished her a happy birthday and said that you couldn't wait to celebrate her birthday on Saturday, but then you didn't post any pictures. So it's giving storyline, Porsha. So let's go ahead. Hey, Simone Wealthy. Thank you so much for being here. And Simone says, wait, she's going to be cooking with the Patti LaBelle. Oh, no, we need to get Patty's people on the phone because we don't want her tainting Miss Patty or her brand. Absolutely. And I don't know if Tamar's best friend had something to do with that because you guys know he went viral, for posting that video about the patty, sweet potato pies. So she reached out to him. So they were in connection. So I don't know if he had something to do with this collaboration, but it's on Tamar's Instagram that she's going to be cooking with Patty on some type of show. As a matter of fact, let me just pull that up really quick to show you guys. Like, because at first, when Funky went live and he did, this video, I was thinking, maybe he's just jealous because Tamar got so much going on. Like, she's really getting to her bag. So I was thinking it was that, possibly. So I wanted to just show you guys this. So this is what Tamar posted on her Instagram. And it says, Miss Patti LaBelle and Tamar Braxton are making their way to your kitchen this Thanksgiving. They're bringing their soulful voices and flavor to Patti LaBelle's holiday party airing on Thanksgiving. So this has already happened. I don't know why we didn't see more of it. So these are some pictures of Tamar, I guess, cooking at Patty's house on Thanksgiving. So I know they were cooking and singing, and that had to be a great time. I'm sorry, guys. I was just reading the comments. Like, she's literally hanging out with a legend. All of these great things are happening for Tamar, but she's tainting it because she wants to chase clout. So yes, Simone. Oh, did not mean to do that. And Simone says, I don't think they are cool anymore after she didn't defend him after that monster Krishan attacked him. No, they are friends. He's actually on tour with her. He sings backup at Tamar's concerts. So they're definitely still best friends. And then also, he was on the Braxtons a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into Kandi and Todd. So, as you guys know, Todd, you know, filed an amended, paperwork for the divorce and said that he wants full custody of the kids. Okay, we all expected that. We know that that was the whole plan the whole entire time while he was making all of those videos about daddy daycare. Like, Todd is looking very suspicious right now. Okay. And Todd, we really didn't want to give Mama Joyce credit for being right, but it looks like we might have to give Mama Joyce credit for being right. And Simone says, "Oh, okay, she didn't watch the Braxtons." Oh, yes, he's all up and down there. He's touring with her right now. I've seen him doing backup, at her tours. So there's definitely still friends for sure. Hey, Tula Trees, thank you so much for being here, sis. So Candy has since filed, and she also wants custody of the kids, and she also wants the divorce to be made private. I don't know if she's afraid that Todd's going to expose the real reason why they're getting a divorce. I'm not sure, but she also sent them videos because Todd is challenging the prenup. So she sent in videos from NBC Universal showing where it was recorded that Todd agreed to this prenup. Okay. And just because in that wedding, series, it was on the day of the marriage or the day before the marriage. Todd knew about this prenup months before the wedding. Okay. Todd was the one that waited around because I'm not sure if he thought that Candy would marry him without the prenup. But one thing Candy does not play about is her money. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that Mama Joyce had been in her ear. Mama Joyce was not going to let Candy marry that man without that prenup. So Todd was the one that pussyfooted around and waited to right before the wedding to sign that document. That's why he was so frustrated because he thought that Candy was just going to marry him without him signing that prenup. But that was not going to happen. Candy had all of her ducks in a row. She had her attorneys there. She had the witnesses there. They went over the prenup with Todd. There was no way around that prenup for Candy. And Toot Latrice said, I think that's what he was trying to do, thinking Candy will be like love over everything. Not when it comes to that money. And see, Candy's getting a lot of royalties from different places. She is not fixing to let Todd touch that. Like, dude, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Todd is not even from Atlanta. So Candy was blindsided about who Todd really was. Okay. We've already heard Todd's ex, Mila, say that Todd told her that he only got with Candy for her connections in Atlanta because he was now working for Bravo on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So he's now living in Atlanta. So he used Candy for those connections and just for a come up. Okay. So Todd is asking for custody of the kids. Candy came back and said, no, no, no. Wait a minute. I hired a personal nanny. There was always a nanny there with those kids. So when Todd was making all of these daddy daycare videos, there was always a nanny around. And Candy's a lot smarter than what Todd give her credit for. She knew the play, Todd. She knew exactly what you were trying to do. Candy was covering her tracks. Candy made too much money to sit there and let you play in her face. I know Candy had a nanny on deck. Why would she tie you down with a nanny when your ass should have been out there making money instead of pretending like you're at home watching kids, your own kids, like that's a flex? But okay. So again, everything that Todd has come forward with to say that, he was the one at home taking care of the kids while Candy was traveling around, on Broadway, doing these shows, doing these movies. He was the one that was always home with the kids. Todd even played a video. I'm sorry, it wasn't a video. I think it aired on the Real Housewives of Atlanta where Todd, had Ace crying on the phone, talking to his mom, talking about how much he missed his mom. That was all a part of Todd's play to show that Kandi was never there and he was always home with the kids. Okay. So it was also said that if Todd stayed for 10 years, that he would get $300,000. I don't know how true that is, allegedly, but that's the word on the streets. So I don't have any proof of that. So it's going to be allegedly. Okay. So Todd, that's a good amount of money for you to just walk away and start over. Like, I don't understand why this man thinks that he deserves half of Candy's money that she has accumulated long before he came into the picture. He even said in one of those videos that Candy was only worth $200,000. I'm sorry. Yes, $200,000 when he got with her. That's how much she was making a year. That is so not true. Okay, she was getting paid more, than that from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So he's trying to flex like he's the one that helped Kandi to come up. Kandi was already a self-made millionaire before she got with Todd. Kandi already had bedroom Kandi since 2012, way before she got with Todd. She married Todd in April of 2014. She did not need Todd for any of that. So I'm trying to figure out where all these ideas that he was speaking of. She was already a part of Escape before you came into the picture. She was already a part of Roa. So how did you help her come up, Todd? I don't see that. And Toot Latree says Kandi even said that while he was gone on prolonged business ventures as well. Exactly, because he was on live saying that he needed a break. But Kandi came out and says that he travels all the time with his friends, just hanging out. Like Todd is literally living his best life because of Kandi, and that's still not enough. He wants half. And that's why you don't date anybody that's not on your financial level. So I hope this was a very, I hope Kandi learned her lesson from all of this. And at this point, Kandi, you probably should just stay single. Because, first of all, you don't know whether you want to be with a man or a woman. That's no shade, but you don't know. So it's probably best that you stay single because when it comes to you picking these men, you kind of like Tamar. You don't know how to pick them. I'm just saying. So you probably should just stay single. And y'all know I love Candy Down, but the facts are just the facts. Okay. So I want to play something. And Toot Latree says, I think Todd Portia's attorney set a precedence with the Porsha Simon prenup holding up in court. Yes. Well, I don't know about that Porsha and Simon thing because, whew, um, well, I think you're saying that Kandi and Portia did a very good job when it came to them, with their prenups. I guess Portia did well, but at the end of the day, I don't think Portia gonna get anything from that prenup. So I don't know how well that is if she ends up not really receiving anything. She had good intentions, but it's not gonna pan out because the thing about it is Portia thought that there was really an underground railroad. So, baby, Simon is a very smart man. So before you challenge a very smart man like Simon, you probably should have thought twice about that. Okay. Because, you know, I don't think you're going to end up getting what you want out of that divorce with Simon, which is why you're already moving on. You're not giving yourself time to just heal, time to just love on yourself. You're just jumping from one relationship to another, Portia. So what that tells me is that you have figured out that you're probably not going to get anything from that divorce from Simon, but a bunch of bills that you might be responsible for if you try to purchase that home. So that situation is not, in my opinion, it's not going to end well for Porsha. So I wanted to play something that I felt like somebody needs to hear this. And I think Kandi needs to hear what this person has to say.
A man who does not protect what he values will end up watching another man value what he decided not to protect. If you don't protect it, you don't deserve it. Most men lose what they are blessed with because they assume it'll always be there. You can't pray for something and then treat it like it's replaceable. If God actually gives you something valuable, like a vision, a woman, a calling, and you do not guard it, that just means you didn't value it in the first place. Protection is not about being aggressive. It's about being present. You can talk like a leader all you want, but if you leave what you love exposed, you are not leading. You're leaving what matters extremely vulnerable. The quickest way to lose a blessing is to act like you can always find another one. And I'm gonna leave you with this. A man who does not protect what he values will end up watching another man value what he decided not to protect. If you don't protect it, you don't deserve it. Most men lose what they are blessed with.
That's for you, Todd, because you really played in Candy Face. And I hate to admit it, but you really did. And then give me 1 second, guys. I want to share something else.
Remove people because they hurt you. Sometimes he removes them because he doesn't want them benefiting from your favor. Everybody cannot eat at the table he's preparing for you. Some people were only supposed to witness the seed, not touch the harvest. And if he would have let them stay, they would have taken credit for blessings that had your name on them. You ever notice how certain people start acting funny right before your life elevates? That's not coincidence. That's separation. God saw conversations you didn't hear, intentions you couldn't read, and jealousy you kept ignoring. So he pulled them before they could contaminate your next level. And I get it. It hurts. Losing people you loved, helped, or prayed for, it never feels good. But what if their removal was the protection? What if God's saying, you're too anointed for this attachment? Do not chase what he cut off. Don't try to reattach what he already replaced with peace. Because when God removes people, it's never rejection. It's redirection. He's not punishing you. Understand, he's preserving you. And the favor he's about to pour out, yeah, that's why he had to clear the room first. God doesn't just remove people because they hurt you. Sometimes he removes them because he doesn't want them benefiting from your favor. Everybody cannot eat at the table he's preparing for you. Some people were only supposed to witness the seed, not touch the harvest. And if he would have.
And the caption says, the removal always makes sense in the end. When you are favored, God will not allow people to benefit from where he is taking you. He's seen the things you didn't see, heard the conversations you didn't hear, and knows people's hidden agendas and true intentions. Appreciate that. 100. And I feel like that's for Candy. Okay. So, and Toot Latree said, "That's right. Show me the snakes so I can run the other way." That part. So, guys, today the Diddy documentary dropped today on Netflix, and the documentary is called Sean Combs: The Reckoning, and it has 4 episodes. Okay, so has anybody seen it yet? I haven't seen it. As soon as I get off this live, I'm gonna get into that documentary. As you guys know, 50 Cent was on Good Morning America on yesterday, and he was asked the question about, did he make this documentary because of his long-standing beef with 50 Cent? I'm sorry, with P. Diddy. And he says, no, that's not why he made this documentary. He said that he made this documentary because Diddy came on to him and told him that he wanted to take him shopping. So he didn't appreciate that because he felt like Diddy was trying him to see if he was down with the get down, you know. So ever since then, you know, he felt some kind of way about P. Diddy. Now, other people feel like the reason why he hates P. Diddy is because his baby mama was one of the people, the anonymous person that testified in the Diddy trial. Okay. And from what we heard during that trial, P. Diddy is still taking care of 50 Cent's baby mama. And keep in mind, guys, 50 Cent has 2 sons. He has one by the black, female that he had his first son. I believe he's a junior. And he doesn't really have a relationship with that son. But the son he puts on the pedestal is the one that he has with P. Diddy's friend that he tricked out. Okay. Now, if that was the reason why he hates P. Diddy, I ain't mad at that because at the end of the day, out of all these women, you had to go and trick off my baby mama, you know, get it. I would be mad too, because that was personal. He did that to get back at 50 Cent. So I get it. Let's just be honest about it, because while she was supposed to be taking care of your son, she was off tricking off with Diddy. And it's still being taken care of by Diddy. And I think he's doing that just because he doesn't like 50 Cent. And Toot Latree says, that's gotta hurt. 50 is making big bucks off Diddy. Okay, let me say this. Now, I know you guys know who Big Gene Deal is, right? So, caught one of his lives. I believe it was on yesterday because Gene Deal had a 45-minute conversation with 50 Cent. And 50 Cent told him that he wanted him to be in the documentary. So he met up with the director of the documentary. And Gene Deal said that this lady was talking to him so greasy and that she didn't want him there. She didn't want him to be a part of the documentary. So what Big Gene Deal said without saying, I couldn't watch the whole thing because he stops too much, he talks too much without getting to the real tea. Okay. And I just didn't have that type of time. But what I got from the conversation that Gene Deal had on his YouTube channel is that 50 Cent really didn't create this documentary, allegedly. Okay. The people who created this documentary is using 50 Cent's name because we already know that 50 Cent has created a name for himself on Tyler Perry level. Maybe not to that extent right now, but he's headed to that direction. Okay. So they're only using 50 Cent's name to put this documentary out there, you know, and to back this documentary. Obviously, yes, to Latrice, he is going to make a pretty coin from them using his name, but I'm thinking that he was not the one that created this documentary, okay? They're just using his name. Now, allegedly, I'm going to have to do some more research about it, but from what Big Gene said, they're pretty much just using 50 Cent's name so that this documentary, he can promote it and it'll be a success. And he's also saying that to get, platforms like Netflix on board, they needed a big name to back this documentary. So 50 Cent is only the big name that they're using to back this documentary, allegedly. And there's nothing wrong with that. If his name carries that type of weight, and if he can make a cute coin off of it, so be it. But they're saying that he's not the one that's doing all of that legwork. I couldn't understand how he put this together so quickly. But if this is true, these people have been working on this documentary for a long time, and they just brought him in at the last minute for his name. So, but I can't wait to see it. You know, there was another documentary made, but they said that this one is the top of the top. And they say it is an amazing documentary, but I will do an update after I actually see it because I haven't seen it yet. Okay. Now, in other news, before I get off of here, I know you guys heard that Meg the Stallion won the defamation lawsuit against Milagro Grams, and she has to pay her $75,000 plus lawyer fees. Now, obviously, that's not a lot of money, and I'm sure that Meg was expecting a lot more from this defamation lawsuit. But the problem is, they got this new media thing that made it really hard for Meg to be able to prove that she was, saying this stuff in malice and not just giving her opinion. Okay. So she still has, I don't believe that the lawyer fees are included in that. So that 75,000 is actually going to go up once they include the lawyer fees, because Meg has about 4 different lawyers, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure they are charging her a pretty penny. So I'm not sure if you guys know it, but Milagro Grams, she made an appearance on Armand Wiggins live last night. I was there. I seen it. She came on and she had some things to say about, what happened in court and the fact that, she lost against Meg the Stallion, but she kept talking about that new media because she wants bloggers, content creators to feel like she actually did us a favor. I am not on Milagro Graham's side when it comes to this Meg the Stallion lawsuit, because I did watch Meg's documentary and I really do feel like she caused this woman a lot of emotional stress and depression. Like, that documentary was so sad, and a lot of it had to do with Milagro Graham. So although there are some bigger platforms that also talked about the situation, this was personal because you decided to team up with the person that shot her. And the father was feeding her information that she was putting on her platform. So I do feel like Milagro should be held accountable for that. And Simone Wealthy says the killer part is that a majority of the videos were obtained because Diddy did not pay his videographers, and that's how 50 Cent got all that good footage. Are you freaking kidding me, Simone? I didn't know that. Wow. And that's another thing that I was curious about. So I'm glad you brought that to the forefront. How did he get all of this footage? And like I said, I believe that these people started working on this a long time ago, and 50 Cent came in at the end just so that he can attach his name to it, so that he can get all of this clout, okay? Because nobody knows who this director lady is, but I believe that she is the one that is the brains of this whole operation, and it's not 50, if I'm being honest, allegedly, okay? And she is the one that appeared on Good Morning America with him, the director. So I believe that this is her work, and she's using 50 Cent for his name, especially since they got this long-standing beef. That's really what's going to make everybody want to watch, because we feel like he did this documentary to get back at Diddy. Okay. So, guys, put a one in the chat if you will be watching this documentary, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, or if you've already seen it and what you think about it. Let me know if you plan on watching it or if you've already seen it. Okay, one. So you plan on watching it, so you haven't watched it yet. So put a two if you've already seen it and a one if you plan on seeing it. So that's how I'm going to spend the rest of my evening watching this documentary, because it's supposed to be so good. But I don't know. I'll be the judge of that, in my own opinion. Okay. But yes, guys, there is so much going on um right now, that I just decided to do a hot topics so that I can just knock all this stuff out at the same time, instead of, doing a live on all these different topics. So guys, if you did not like the video on your way in, please like the video on your way out. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. And drop down in the comments section so that we can keep this conversation going. Again, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now. And Cece said, I'll get the details from you all. Why, Cece? You don't want to watch it? And she also said, be blessed, everyone. And Simone said, cheap as Diddy had the videographers filming him the weeks leading up to his arrest. OMG. When they sent him invoices, he stiffed them, and 50 Cent brought it from them. Wow, wow, wow. So Simone said that she is gonna watch. Okay. And Cece says no, she's not interested. Okay, I guess the court trial was enough for you, Cece. And I can't believe we're even still talking about Diddy. I'm really tired of Diddy, but I want to see this documentary because um he really does a good job with his documentaries and his movies. So I'm so happy that he kind of found his niche, you know. So I do watch a lot of his movies and things like that. So I'm gonna watch it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.